Hi guys, we're back this week with a marker Speedpaint and we're doing a gangster fan art. We're drawing Delico, aka your pretty boy gangster. And first off, I'm sorry if it sounds a bit noisy. I'm not sure if it'll really it can be heard in the recording. I have the aircon on in the room as I'm speaking, so yeah, that's part of the noise. And this is a Speedpaint slash some tips on doing clothing folds and coloring suits in. And my number one tip for doing the suit, for coloring it in, and for doing anything really, is to always look up for references first. I looked up some references on suits just to get an idea of how they actually look, because they have this sort of shiny finish. Like, it's not really glossy, it's more satin, but the fabric is really stiff, so the folds have to be kind of more sharp or crisp. And the key to doing these folds is to have high contrast. For the suit, don't be afraid to go dark, because that darkness kind of gives it a sense of realism, rather than just using all light values. Although if he's wearing a white suit, then feel free to use light colors. Yeah, it really helps to look at references just to get a sense of how the fabric kind of sits depending on the angle and how much it's stretched. And eventually, if you get used to looking at a lot of references, you'll get so good at it that you don't need the references. Yeah, so like what I'm doing with the arm, it's a lot of high contrast. I put the darkest color at parts where the fabric folds a lot and where light doesn't fall, like at the edge of the arm earlier. And with the pants, they tend to fold the most at the crotch area because he's seated that way. And then there's a bit at his knees because his knees are bent, but with his thighs, they're stretched, so there's not a lot of folds. There's just the sheen. The fabric looked a bit funky zoomed in, but when you see the whole image, it kind of looks nice. And then of course the shoes, they're kind of more subdued, and because of the material, it's kind of matte, so there's not really a lot of shine and just a bit of contrast. And then if you saw earlier, I was adding yellow to the really lighter parts of the skin and the hair. I was using a really light yellow. And later in the video, I'll be going back at the suit, and with the lighter areas, I'll be applying a lighter yellow. Just to kind of give a more cohesive look to the piece, like the lightest yellow. So don't be afraid to define your light with a color. And I didn't show it in the video, but I actually scanned the image and then I went through it in Photoshop and I added some of the background, because at that time I had an idea what I wanted the background to be, but I couldn't achieve it. I wasn't sure how because I didn't have an airbrush. So yeah, I just added a bunch of splatter brushes and I think it worked nice. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching!